Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome out to another Hardrocker Luncheon. Hope everybody's having a great week. Thanks for coming out. Thanks to Marcos for delivering some great pizzas and salad for us today. Big crowd on hand to hear from the coaches, and we'll start with Jerry Schafer talking about the indoor track season.
Well, good afternoon and welcome. We are underway with track. Basketball's moving along, and they've been working hard as well. We're just excited to hear from them and how they did this last week. We took a weekend off last weekend, so I'm going to update you, since we had a week off from the luncheon, I'm going to update you on the Dave Little meet that we had in Spearfish 2 weekends ago. That was our first meet back with the whole squad, and prior to that we had 8 kids compete the weekend before, but with the whole squad there, we were pretty excited with the way the kids competed, coming off of spring or Christmas break. They did a really good job. We thought overall we had great performances, and that was proven out by the fact that we had 14 personal records for our indoor athletes. We had 16 who finished in the top 3 in their events, and 5 of those were first places and 6 were second places. Of our first place finishers, Josh Thomas kind of led the way. He was first in the 200 and the long jump, and he then came back and got second in the 60-meter dash. Garrett Lane, our sophomore high hurdler, won the high hurdles, also placed in the 60 dash, made it to the finals. Nick Alberts won the 400, also qualified for the finals of the dash, but since that came directly after the 400, we kind of pulled him out of there. And then Adeline Stratmeyer, one of our freshman gals, won the 1K, and then she also was third in the mile. And so we were very pleased with those performances. Our second place finishers, Katie Kroll, finished second in the 400. She's a sophomore, and she was also third in the high hurdles. Mackenzie Nordine is a transfer, finished second in the pole vault. Tristan Anastas, our high jumper, our good high jumper who's provisionally qualified for nationals, was second in the high jump, and maybe not as sharp as he was before Christmas break, but still jumped really well. And then he had also long jumped right before that for the first time this season, and he finished second in both the high jump and the long jump. And then our women's 4x4 put together a second place finish as well. So a couple of the other highlights, just in general, Isaiah Martin in the weight throw. Each meet indoors, he's really improved, and he added another 1.5 feet, I think, to his weight throw. Was out over 51 feet, pushing 52 feet. So we're pretty excited to see how he's developing. Our pole vaulters, I was very, very pleased with. We'd only gotten on the pole maybe once or twice going into that meet, coming off a break. And I think we had 4 of our 6 vaulters increased by a full lift and improved on their previous marks from December. So we were pleased with the way they performed. And the other thing was that we had 4 finalists in the 60-yard dash. So that was pretty pleasing as well. 4 out of 8 people in the finals. Kind of looked like a Hardrocker race, and that was kind of fun. So our next meet will be in Shadwin on Friday. Starts at 1:30, and we'll see what we can get done, see if we can improve on some of those performances in Spearfish. And any questions?
Jerry, do they keep meets or points per meet?
Yeah, most of the meets we go to at this point don't keep team scores. So their track and field in general is looking at that in considering where maybe we need to start keeping those records, keeping team scores for each meet. But in general, the emphasis is on providing opportunities to qualify for national championships and those kinds of things. And so we haven't been in competitive situations with team scores very often. So that will probably be changing in the near future. Any questions? to turn this back over to Nick. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Henry, you done with lunch? You're good to go? All right. Got to make sure. Men's basketball team is on the road along with the women last week, and a couple of tough games, no doubt, against Fort Hays and Nebraska Kearney. Big event coming up, Coaches versus Cancer this Saturday. Welcome up, Coach Jason Henry.
All right.
All right, good to be back up here. Talk about our guys, talk about our team. Jerry, we took the weekend off as well, so not sure if that was a good thing, but it's the way it goes sometimes. So. Our guys did. They actually played pretty hard. They did some good things this past weekend. Played 2 good halves, especially the first night. We played very, very well against an exceptional Fort Hays team. And we're right there at halftime. They hit a shot at the buzzer to go into halftime to go up 4 or 5, whatever it was. Otherwise, we were right there. And came out in the second half, and they're 0 for 3 to start in the first half from the 3-point line. And shot 50%, we shot 50%, did some good things on the offensive end, and actually played decent on the offensive end the second half, and just could not get a stop. You know, from a lot of it had to do with them, and you know, plenty had to do with us as well. So kind of got the ball rolling down the hill, and we couldn't get caught back up to it, and ended up playing a lot of guys, you know, the last 10 minutes, which was good. You know, I hate to do it in that situation, but it was an opportunity to get some other guys in there. And keep some guys healthy too. The second night was basically the same thing, other than we started the game and a couple of their players, especially one of them that's got a chance to be an All-American for them, we just absolutely could not stop, and he was hitting everything. So we ended up double teaming and doing some things, and then carried that over to the second half where we had to double team and get it out of his hands. And then of course he kicked it out, and they shot 80% from the 3-point line. You know, so it's just part of the deal where it just gets rolling like that, and you know, it's frustrating, but I was a lot prouder of the guys in the second half and the second game of just not laying down. As hard as it is to just keep competing and trying to guard and trying to get those stops, we didn't do that the first night. And the second night, we just did a much better job of that. Same results, though. But at least they were playing hard and fought through some of it, which we wanted to make sure that we saw. So that was the past weekend. Obviously, 2 very good teams, and we knew going in to those that weekend that it was going to be tough. I mean, we had to play about perfect and then playing average for us to, you know, have a chance. Them being on their home floor and all those kind of things that go with it, and it just didn't happen. But the fact that we had won 4 of the last 5 games going into that, 3 in a row, all those kind of things, I felt a lot better, you know, going into those games than I probably would have if we were really struggling, and it still didn't end with the results that we wanted to. But going back to those past weekend games, from the BH game into the last weekend, being at home and us finally taking care of the things at home that we need to do, and then playing presentation in a Dickinson stage, who, you know, presentation's right up on top, as in Dickinson, you know, in their conference right now with a couple games in, and it's going to be a very competitive conference, basically our old conference that we were in, and as people that were there, I don't know how many people came up afterwards and just go, holy cows, they're pretty good. You know, I'm going, well, yeah, everybody's good. You know, that's part of the deal in college basketball, and we had our hands full both nights. Pretty fortunate the second night to get up 25 or whatever it was, and wanted to get some other guys in there and that kind of thing, and then sure enough, they come storming back with very talented young men, and we didn't do what we needed to do to close it out and that kind of stuff until kind of the very end. So I'd like to have played some more people there in that game, but bottom line is we came away with the win and played very well throughout the game. We just go that stretch with pretty lackadaisical in some areas and things, and then of course a good team take advantage of that. And then of course the presentation, or the Dickinson State game, that, you know, had a big post guy in there, had some good shooters on the outside, and believe me, we went into that, and you know, we knew we were going to have our hands full, and to come away with a win there and be down, you know, 6-7 points with a few minutes to go, and you know, a freshman stepping up and hitting a couple threes, and guys making free throws when they needed to, you know, just a huge team effort for us. Come away with a win on that one. So excited where we're at right now. I mean, obviously it's pretty humbling. You go up there and, like you said, you win 4 or 5, and you know, think you're playing pretty well, and you run into a couple buzzsaws. It is not good in the middle of their conference where they're playing at the peak and doing what they need to do to be competitive in their conference, which both teams are right there in their conference. And you know, going into this weekend coming up here. It was nice to get this game on the schedule. I think we had one game in 19 days if we wouldn't have had that, and that's part of the scheduling, the nightmare that we've been through the last couple of years, and have a game next weekend down in Denver. But other than that, we had nothing. So we were fortunate to get a team to come up here, space it out a little bit, so we're not just trying to practice for almost a month with one game. And so we're looking forward to that, being cancer night. I know the TV station was in here the other day and asked me the question, what's this game mean to you and that kind of thing with being cancer. I mean, we've all had that with my aunt passed away a couple years ago, or a year and a half ago now, but Connor Koulis, his grandpa just passed away yesterday or Monday with cancer, so he won't be with us at the game. We got a funeral to go to and that kind of stuff, so it's a big game that way, where it means a lot to everybody in attendance. Of course, our guys, it definitely hit home, and myself, so I know our guys will go out there and play their tails off for reason of being out there, but also because it is cancer night too. So the other great thing that happened, which had plenty of compliments on that, is my daughter sang the national anthem for the presentation game, and you look at the proud moments in your life, and that was one of them. I know I couldn't have done that. I have problems enough sometimes getting up, especially singing, but whether it's good or bad singing-wise, she got up in front of a few hundred people and did it, which was still, I can't believe she did it, to be honest, but she's got nerves of steel like her mom, I guess, instead of like me. But anyway, so it was a pretty good weekend a couple weekends ago, and looking forward to finishing the season strong. We do have some highlights here from a couple of them here, and it's kind of funny, and we'll go through some of these, but we started the games this weekend. It's nice when the teams don't scout you as much as when you're in conference and in plays, and you can run a LU play to start the game a couple different times. And obviously we're pretty fortunate to have some athletic guys and do those kind of things this year. But for us to get, I don't know if this is the game, but I think we had 4 dunks in this game, and we've gone years since I've been here where you might have 1 or 2 dunks in the entire year, much less the game. So it just shows you the kind of athletes that we are getting now. It's definitely a step up that's been in the past and that kind of thing. But we're pretty fortunate, like I said, that we can get guys that Lob City I saw and that was actually a different game. But then we had a couple more again too. Not that dunks are everything, but we got a slip right there with Phillip, just making a great read, just not getting the touches. But our 2 post guys, and they have Andrew Rebo playing at the level that we were expecting him to play, as he did this past weekend again too. He had almost 20 points again against those teams, and those kind of things. But to have Andrew back in the lineup and be full strength just shows you what kind of team we woulda, coulda, shoulda been, kind of thing, without having him throughout basically the entire year. So looking forward to big things from him as well. And this was down in Fort Hays here too. Once again, running our ball screen offensive stuff and getting it swung, but just guards making plays, hitting big time shots, and doing some good things, especially in the first half in both of those games where we did a lot of good things. And another tip dunk for us. That crowd was pretty good, so I think he had a couple things to say while he was hanging on the rim there, but we didn't get a technical, so that was good. Got the whole highlights from the whole weekend, all 3 plays, I think, here, so. NJ Sean's been shooting the ball extremely well, as we saw. I mean, it was a big reason why we won that game against Dickinson, but he's definitely a penetrator at first, and getting guys the ball and all those kind of things, but he's gotten stronger and a little bit more confidence and that kind of thing, and he's definitely able to knock down the shots, and he's been able to do that the last couple of games. So our freshmen are coming along. We're excited about them, but you're still going to lean on your juniors and seniors, and we got one of our juniors here today to talk just real quick about his experiences here, talk about an award, big time award that he just won, and he's heading out to Atlanta or wherever to receive some of it and those kind of things. So we'll let you drill Mark Mazzucco a little bit. He's been our point guard this year, done a lot of great things, and just a great leader. I mean, just an exceptional leader. He is a metallurgical engineer, so I don't know if that's a good thing, right, guys? It's a great thing, right? All right, so, but he can tell your story. I've never had a kid that does the things that he does as far as the academics go, and to have a degree already from another university and still want to keep playing basketball instead of going to make some big time money. It tells you right there what kind of kid he is, and and a young man, I should say. He's definitely not a kid, but he'll come up here and talk a little bit about himself, I guess. So, any quick questions for me before he does come up here? Perfect. All right, let's let Mark up here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Like Coach Henry just said, my name is Mark Mazzucco. I'm originally from Mesa, Arizona, and coming up here was quite the culture shock. As you guys all know, it doesn't really get cold in Arizona. And so, like Coach Henry said, I grew up in Arizona and went to ASU, and I was fortunate enough, just as I was about to finish my degree at ASU, I got in contact with Coach Henry and was offered the opportunity to come out here and play basketball for the School of Mines. And I was a little hesitant at first, just because coming from a big state like Arizona and coming and moving away from my family and just picking everything up was a little scary at first. And I gotta admit, it's probably one of the biggest, best moves I've ever made in my life, coming to School of Mines. This school has just took me to a whole nother level with the opportunities that they have, with just internships to the teachers that they have here, and even just with basketball, the great coaching staff that they have here at School of Mines. It's just been a great journey so far. Like Coach Henry mentioned, one of the awards I just had the pleasure of earning was an internship award that I had won for working at Intel this past summer. Basically, the school was able to nominate one student that had an internship this past summer, and so I had to submit my resume and a paper about my experiences with Intel. And so it was submitted to a committee for internship organization nationally, and I ended up being the one that was selected for this prestigious award. So I'll be heading to Atlanta in a couple of months to go to the ceremony and get recognized there. But yeah, like Coach Henry said, this season's had its ups and downs, but I'm really happy where we're headed. I think that we've kind of hit that turning point where these next 4 games are going to be pretty exciting. I think that we have the opportunity to win 4 games and make our record look a little bit better than it should. It should be way better, I think, in my opinion. And we have the right guys to get the win. So hopefully these next 4 games come out on top. And I'm really looking forward to next year as well. With a lot of the young talent that we have, I think that we have the opportunity to do some great things here at School of Mines. So, are there any questions?
Yeah, Mark. I'd like to focus on the academic part of this. How long did it take you to get your degree from Arizona State?
2.5 years.
And since you've been here, would you share your grade point average with us?
I have consistently had a 4.0 every semester.
What was your major down there?
I was doing pre-med. I was going to go to med school, so pre-med major focus in psychology.
And here?
Metallurgical engineering. So I was hoping. When I came and visited, I thought it was closely tied in with biomedical engineering. And I know Grant Crawford, he's here, and he's one of the professors in the metallurgical engineering department, and so I knew that he kind of specialized in biomedical engineering, so that's why I had interest in metallurgical engineering.
And an old basketball player.
That as well. One of the star basketball players back in the day.
Do you have an internship set up yet?
Yes, I actually have an internship set up with ExxonMobil this summer down in Beaumont, Texas. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'll be working with corrosion down in Beaumont.
Any other questions for Mark? Thanks, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Mark, on the great award. Congratulations, Coach Henry, on not singing the national anthem for us. And your daughter sang it. That was a better choice. Ryan Larsen just got back from a long trip. Appreciate him dropping in, giving an update on the Hardrock women's basketball program. Welcome, Coach Ryan Larsen.
Thanks, everybody. It's a great turnout. Good to be back here. It's nice. I kind of forgot that it's been a couple weeks since we've been up here, so I get to talk about 2 weekends ago and not just last weekend. You know, the men's program and our program seasons have been, you know, pretty much mirror images of each other, especially the past 2 weekends. You know, 2 weekends ago against Dickinson in presentation, we played really good basketball. You know, I was really scared going to that Dickinson State game because, you know, they're a really well-coached team, and they're all pretty much all guards, and they're tough to guard. I know we talked about that a lot last time, but it seems like defensively, they've run every kind of zone I've ever seen in my life, and then a few zones that I've never seen before even. But our kids did a good job of not getting rattled by their switching defenses, and we just stuck to the game plan and scored the ball well. So that was really good to see. That was a good growing up game for us offensively, I felt. And then against the presentation game, that there was one stat that, you know, I still have the box score, and I'm going to hang on to it for a long time. We had 27 assists to 14 turnovers, and when you can do that, you're going to give yourself a really good chance of getting a victory. That's kind of really been our Achilles heel all year long offensively. Is when we turn the ball over too much, you know, it's tough to score. So that was great to see, and good to see the kids really pass the ball well. It lead to a lot of great baskets. You know, to get real technical, a lot of those passes, you know, especially to our post players, and even some of our guards, but our guards passing to our post players, you know, there were passes with angles where they could just catch and score. They wouldn't have to make a move or anything like that. They were just pinpoint passes. It was really precision-like, and that was a thing of beauty. That was a lot of fun to watch. So that weekend was good, and you know, going into the past weekend, obviously we were feeling really good about ourselves, knowing that we were going to play 2 really good basketball teams. You know, Fort Hays State, they had won 15 straight games when we went down there and played, and they hadn't missed a beat. They certainly can. That's a really good team that we went up against. With about 3.5 minutes to go, we cut the lead to 3, and I think the next 3 possessions we turned it over, and by halftime it was 12 or 14 points. And you know, that's what happens when you don't take care of the basketball and you're playing a really good team. They're going to make you pay. You know, but it's always good playing a good opponent like that. You know, it only makes you better. There's no doubt about it. I was pleased with our kids. You know, execution defensively. They have a player that was scoring 24 points a game, a big 6'4" post player who's they just throw it up to her and she catches and lays it in. And we had a good game plan, and the kids really did a good job of defending her. We gave up a couple other, you know, some baskets, you know, taking away her looks, but we were happy to do that. So that was good. I was really pleased with the way we executed defensively. And the next game at Kearney on Friday, well, one thing I really enjoy about this group is, you know, we took it on the chin pretty good at Hayes. And the thing I really respect about this group, and why one of the many reasons I really enjoy coaching, they're extremely resilient group. You know, we watched some film of the Hayes game, and you know, we didn't focus so much on Kearney, but we needed to fix our own selves. And well, we played a fantastic 30 minutes. You know, we really did. We had a 14-point lead in the first half against a good Kearney team who's improved. They got a player back from injury who's really helped them. She's a starter. And we were just playing fantastic basketball. Again, at halftime, you know, they made a nice run to end the half, and we were to be able to answer and keep that lead at 7 points going into halftime. And we had, again, a positive assist to turnover ratio at halftime. And there's the key for us right there. And then the second half, you know, a lot of factors. You know, that whole weekend is kind of baffling, Tom. Baffling. It really was. It was just strange events all weekend long, from kind of the second half where we didn't shoot a free throw and Kearney shot 23 free throws. That's baffling. It is. You know, I'm not placing blame on the officials or anything like that, but with today's rules and officiating, for us to not to shoot a free throw in the second half is strange, to say the least. And we were getting ball where we wanted to. We were getting post touches. We had a lot of good looks around the rim. We were getting to the rim from the perimeter, and we just weren't able to get to the free throw line. And that, you know, that definitely affected the game a little bit. You know, when they shoot that many free throws and we don't get to the line, you know, the point total is going to change a little bit. And, you know, along with that, you know, the two biggest factors besides us not getting the free throw line were, you know, one, our number one priority offensively is we turned it over too much in the second half. And what that leads to is easy baskets for them. They were able to get some easy baskets in transition, and that's our number one rule defensively is, you know, we don't give up baskets in transition. And we had some bad coverage in our conversion defense. You know, so those two things right there were kind of the difference in the second half, no doubt about it, us turning the basketball over and giving them some easy baskets in transition. But again, I was so happy with the way we bounced back from the night before. Again, it just shows the grit and the resiliency and toughness that our kids have, and the pride that they have in, you know, them putting a good showing on the court. So that was really, really pleasing. You talk about just bizarre things happening in that game. First half, I'm known for my acrobatics on the sideline, and I'm not sure exactly what I did, because when I do them, I don't know what's going on. Kind of out-of-body experiences, but I think I did a skip, ball, change, jump, squat type deal, and I heard a rip. And I got a little preoccupied there for a while, trying to find out where the hole in my pants was. Thankfully enough, it was just a slight tear in the back of my pants, and no one noticed the rest of the game, which was good. So I was a little worried about that. You know, not as worried as us turning it over and not getting back in conversion defense, but still, this kind of sums up the bizarre weekend for us all weekend long. But again, proud of the way we bounced back. Kearney's a good team. That's a tough road trip. It really is. It made us better. You know, anytime you can take things away from losses, it's going to make it better. And you know, those two losses, again, playing good teams, it's only going to help us finish off the year here. And the kids are really focused on finishing the year strong. You know, our schedule is nice right now where we only play on the weekends. That's going to be really good for us to get a little consistency in the gym and travel-wise. So the kids are really looking forward to finishing the year strong. Brad, do we have clips? I haven't seen them, so I'll do my best to commentate with them. This here is the Kearney game. Obviously, we're running our half-court offense here. Great back screen by Stacy Hall. A great take to the rim by Callie. And she just makes a tremendous pass there to Peyton Humble. I've been meaning to look to see what Peyton is shooting from the three-point line since Christmas, but I'd be willing to put a lot of money that it's pretty close to 50%. She's been really shooting the ball well for us. Here again, just running our motion here, getting the ball reversed. Got a great take by Lexi there, and just another fantastic one more pass to Peyton from Jordan Deans. That's really good basketball there. You know, those are the passes that we love to make. Here's a great defensive stop for us. Good steal by Mackenzie Kenny, who does a great job for us down there, doubling the post. Get out and go in transition a little bit. Just play on the attack here. Stacy Hall had a fantastic game at Kearney. You know, we're trying to make a point of it more to get her in. She's a kid that just, you trust her out there because you know she's rarely going to make a mistake. So it was good to see her have a really good game. I'm really pleased with the progress that our three freshmen have made. You know, they're no longer freshmen. With the minutes that they've logged this year, you know, their freshman mistakes are over. There's another really good play by Peyton and a good pass by Stacy. There's Mackenzie Kenny, again, doubling the post, just being that free safety that we like. And then we love that kind of basketball right there. That's fun. When you can get a turnover and go the other way and get a three, that is really fun basketball. we did a great job of turning them over this game. That's one thing that we've been talking a lot about, is we want to defend and turn opponents over and go make them pay, and we certainly did that this game. That was good. We caused a lot of turnovers, and unfortunately we had more than they did, but we were able to punctuate on their turnovers quite a bit. This Saturday, we've got a great function going on, a pink out. This is always a very special game and week, month. For me personally, I know Coach Henry did a great job of summing it up for himself and his squad. I lost my mother to breast cancer. She was the toughest lady that I ever knew. She defeated three bouts of breast cancer. So obviously that's why it's very, very special to me and near to my heart. Like I said, she defeated 3 bouts of breast cancer, but by the time she defeated her third, she was so, that the chemotherapy and radiation, takes it out on a body, and she wasn't able to fight the fight much longer. So that 3 bouts definitely took it out of her, although she did, as I like to say, defeat it 3 times. So, this is a very special weekend for me. Those ladies that fight breast cancer and overcome it, and the ladies that we have lost, this is a great weekend to honor them. So if you can make it, please come. I'll be wearing my pink shirt and tie. I got married in my pink shirt and tie, and this weekend is the only time I pull it out. So I'm excited to get it out, iron it up, and look good in it. So any questions before I'm done? Sound like we have one back there in the office. No? Thank you everybody for coming. Good to have a good turnout here. Look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Thanks, Coach. Just a couple things before I let you go today. Women's game starts at 2. Men's game starts at 4 Saturday, so we appreciate you coming out to the games. And then next Wednesday, we're going to have National Signing Day party down at Buffalo Wild Wings. So mark that on your calendar for 4:30. Next Wednesday afternoon, and they're also going to be streaming, as you can see, National Signing Day with the Hardrocker football program starting at 8:30 in the morning. They're all going to be in here, Coach Dodson and the crew, ready to get some new players into the football program. So look forward to that next week. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. Thanks for coming out.